What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we talk about a few Michigan players as they talk about how spring ball went, their expectations going into fall camp, and just where their mindset is right now on the team. I also give the floor and the ceiling as I give my Michigan football 2024 record prediction. And I also talk about some recruiting news on the 5-star wide receiver Derek Meadows, as well as Jerome Miles, an update on Andrew Marsh and Michigan's 2025 top 10 recruiting class, and I also talk about running back recruiting in the 2026 class as it is looking pretty good. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing I did want to talk about is what some Michigan football players said as they talked about spring ball, how that went, their goals, as well as what they expect this team to look like come August in the first game of the season, as they all made an appearance on Michigan Made Episode 2. Offensive lineman Miles Hitton talked about what he's doing in preparation to potentially take a bigger role this season. He said, just grind, just keep the wheels turning, get stronger, faster, bigger, just kind of hone in the craft. That's kind of the theme this year is detail, detail, detail. Kari Page, he also said that, the goal is to be Michigan football. Practice hard, practice fast, practice physical. That's what we do. Colston Loveland also talked about spring ball, and he just said it's a way to find our identity and see who we are as a team. Just got to take each rep, each play, each practice, and just get 1% better. Ernest Halsman said you must take each day and attack it and just get better each day. Sean Moore also said that, to be on the field, to execute your playbooks and execute at a high level, and the excitement to be on the field with your team and building that pre-chemistry is what excites us. And a couple players also talked about, the expectations. Colston Loveland talking about, getting that ring, winning the national championship. He said everyone who sees that ring is going to go, all right, we can't settle for anything less. He said obviously, that is the new standard that is set. Donovan Edwards said as of right now, how we are preparing right now is how we have to prepare in August, and that's continuing to have that mental challenge of getting better every single day. And Mason Graham followed up and said we need to be in August where we were last year at game 1 and not missing a beat. And Will Johnson talking about the team, he said, I expect Michigan fans to see a very exciting team, a very together team, and a team full of a lot of playmakers. That's what a couple players said as they talked about spring ball, just continuing to work and just getting better each and every day as they go into fall camp and prepare for the season, which is less than 50 days away now. And while we're talking about the team, I do want to talk about some record predictions. Let me know in the comment section down below your guys' prediction for Michigan's record in the 2024 season. They got, one of the toughest schedules in college football. Obviously, with the 12-team expanded playoff, it's definitely going to help them get into the playoffs. I do think they will make the college football playoffs again. Might not be a higher seed, but I do think this team will have the chance to repeat. I think the floor would be 8-4, although I definitely don't see that happening. And the ceiling, in my opinion, I think is 11-1. My prediction, though, I think Michigan will go 10-2 this upcoming season, but I hope they prove me wrong. I think they definitely can prove me wrong. I think this team is, has the potential to surprise a lot of people, but obviously, with this stellar defense, I do see them winning 10 or more games this upcoming season and making the college football playoffs. I think a lot of it also comes down to the early game against Texas. That game, could potentially define the season early on. If they go out there and they beat Texas, everyone's going to know that, this Michigan team is for real again, and they will be a legit contender again. And if they win that game, it's going to give them a lot of momentum. It's also going to help them to probably at the end of the season if they are, trying to get into the college football playoffs. That win over Texas is only going to help them. But obviously I think Michigan's toughest games this season is going to be Texas, Oregon, and Ohio State. Those three games are going to define Michigan's season, and to get into the playoffs, they're going to have to win at least one of those games. They also have to play Washington and USC, but I think Michigan will be able to win those games. Let me know in the comment section down below your guys' record predictions. I think a lot of people do have the same idea as me. But now I wanted to talk about some recruiting news. Obviously over the weekend, Michigan added another addition to their 2025 class from the 2025 three-star speedy wide receiver Philip Wright, as he chose Michigan over others like Georgia and LSU, who did make a late push at him, but Michigan was able to prevail. And now they have the number 10 overall ranked class on 24/7 Sports, which puts them inside the top 10. They're also going after other top 100 targets. Now, one guy who did delay his commitment, I did mention it in the Philip Wright commitment video, is Derek Meadows, who is the 2025 5-star 6'5" receiver, currently down to Michigan, Georgia, Notre Dame, LSU, and Alabama. Now there's rumors that Michigan, potentially was the reason he delayed his commitment, as he was set to announce on July 13th. However, there's also an NIL push from Notre Dame. Now, right now it seems mainly between Notre Dame and LSU. However, obviously him pushing back his commitment date does go in Michigan's favor to potentially have a little bit more time, try to convince him to go to Michigan. According to E.G. Hound of the Wolverine, there was a conversation with new head coach Jerome Moore that played a small role in Derek Meadows delaying his commitment date, and Michigan is going to do its best to win him over. But again, the favorites right now, it appears, is Notre Dame and LSU. It would be a huge win for Michigan, but I don't really see this one going in Michigan's favor. Now, the same goes for the 2025 5-star wide receiver Jerome Miles. He recently decommitted from Ole Miss. He is set to take a visit to Michigan for the barbecue at the Big House, but he comes from the state of Utah. Right now, Utah does appear to lead for him, and I do think that is the likely outcome of him staying in the state of Utah, going to Utah. But at least Michigan is putting themselves in striking distance, and you never know, who knows the outcome, after his visit. But I do think it is unlikely, unfortunately. But Michigan, they are still in the lead for Andrew Marsh, the top 100 4-star receiver, as he'll also be in for the barbecue at the Big House, as he is expected to have an August decision. And I also wanted to talk about running back recruiting in the 2026 class. Michigan, they are going after one of the top running backs in the 2026 class out of the 4-star running back Savion Hyder. He's ranked 39th nationally on 24/7 Sports composite rankings. And Hyder, he has talked, high about Michigan before. Michigan is definitely a top school for him. There's also other teams like Tennessee and Georgia who have made strong impressions on him recently. But he is set to be back on campus for the barbecue at the Big House. And then another top running back in the class is the 2026 4-star running back Javion Mallory from the state of Florida. Right now, Michigan is a top school for him as well. Did talk to E.G. Hound of the Wolverine a while ago, and he said that him and Tony Elford instantly clicked. Also said that I love the way Michigan plays football. I could see myself starring in that program. It's everything a running back dreams of. Said having that opportunity to be next up in the running back room is very special. I could continue that legacy and maybe bring a championship to Ann Arbor myself. It also helps that Michigan got an Florida commit from the top 100 quarterback Brady Hart, who I'm sure will be working to get Mallory in the 2026 class, as well as Savion Hyder. Brady Hart has already said that this 2026 class he envisions should be a top class, if not the top class in the 2026 class. But Mallory did say that if Michigan isn't the top school, they are definitely a top school. So Tony Elford, he potentially has a chance to pull in a great running back haul in the 2026 class. Michigan, Sharon Moore, they have the chance to have a special 2026 class, as obviously the 2025 class was off to a rough start, but right now it appears they should be able to get a top 10 class. But let me know what you guys think about all of that. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, we see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.